I'm Talia Janae, and you're watching the Licensed Yapper podcast. Welcome, guys. This is my debut episode of my podcast, and I am extremely excited, very nervous, but in a way, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. So I'm so excited to start and let you guys know a little bit about me, learn a bit about me, and spend some time with me, and of course, yap with me throughout this entire process of the new journey that I'm starting. And I'm absolutely so excited. Okay, so I want to I want to introduce myself a little bit because I feel like this is a great way for everyone to kind of get to know me. So, hi again, I'm Talia Janae, the obvious, and I just want to say I've always felt like this is what I'm like kind of supposed to be doing. I've like a career, a job, a hobby, whatever you want to call it. I feel like I've always had the personality for it since a young age. Like, y'all, I remember growing up and teachers, coaches, ladies in church would come up to me and they would all just be like, something about you. There's just something about you, you have a little spark. Like, I've just always been told that my entire life, and I've always been a loud, energetic kid. Like, I remember in class, second grade, I vividly remember it when my teacher called me disruptive. Not because I was a bad student necessarily, but I think just because I like to talk. I like to talk. I like to talk to my friends. I like to talk to the teacher while she's teaching. And obviously, little Talia had to learn, don't speak when the teacher's speaking. But I feel like anybody who learns that I'm doing this is like, oh yeah, that's right up Talia's alley. So I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited to share with you guys my story about talk about relationships, talk about friendships, talk about daily life, talk about being a 23-year-old teenage girl. I say that all the time. I call myself a 23-year-old teenage girl because I don't feel like an adult in the weirdest way. I just feel still really young, which I obviously am. I'm only 23, but I feel like I have this young spirit about me. So I'm gonna keep calling myself a 23-year-old teenager for a while now, my entire 20s. But yeah, this is a space that I just feel like I want to talk out my emotions, my thoughts. I always say I am my own best friend. I'm not even kidding. I love spending time with myself. I'd rather be alone than hang out with my friends, and I love my friends. But Talia time is my favorite time, and I talk to myself all the time. I don't know if that means I'm supposed to be in a mental hospital, a psychiatric. Like, I don't know what that means, but I talk to myself all the time. Lock me up, put me in a space by myself. And I might be crazy, but I love talking to myself. I love thinking thoughts out loud, and I feel like I'm hilarious also. Like, I make myself laugh, and I don't know, I'm just excited to share what goes on in this brain of mine, which is a lot of weirdness and craziness and a lot of insane things, but I want to have a space where I can do that, and hopefully girlies and hey, and guys too that feel that they relate to that have a space to hear and talk about and be relatable to someone. So I'm so excited. I've said that 10 million times, but I truly, truly am. I also want to talk about how another reason why I think this is just up my alley is because from a young age, guys, I've learned that my personality is my biggest asset. I have said that to myself. I've said that to people for the longest time. I may not be the prettiest girl in the room, which I may not be. Hey, that's fine. Not everybody's going to find you attractive. But I may walk into a room with a bunch of beautiful women and I may not be the most attractive, but I best will be the most energetic. I will be the loudest. I will be the funniest. That my personality is who I am, and I'm gonna take all down a little story because I feel like throughout my life I've prioritized my personality more than anything. I knew that I wasn't okay. Ooh, this is gonna sound weird. I obviously find myself pretty, right? I have grown self confidence, and I think I'm a pretty girl. But growing up, I just knew that wasn't the first thing people would think about me. Like, oh, she's a pretty girl. Like, that wasn't my testimony. That's not my life. That has never been my life. I've never gotten that ever really. Like, I knew guys weren't going to find me the prettiest, and that was fine. Well, I had to learn to be okay with that, but I knew I was the funniest. I knew I had a great personality, and I use that as my strength. And I don't know, and I use that in a way of, I don't know, I don't want to say to like cover up my looks preferably, because I feel like in society's eyes, I'm not, you know, drop dead gorgeous, but I'll walk into a room and I'll own it. Best believe I'll own the room that I walk into. And that's why I feel like I've been personable to a lot of people growing up, and I feel like I've worked on it a lot, which is weird. I just knew that I had something. I always knew I had a little something about me. Um, and I'm confident in that. I'm so confident in my personality, whereas growing up I had to grow to love the way I look, to love the girl that I see in the mirror. I don't think there's been a day that's gone by that's made me not love the way I speak, the way I talk, the way I carry myself. That's my favorite thing about myself. And I think it's a strength, and I think I have a pretty cool personality. I know when people call themselves cool or funny, that's like, okay, you're obviously probably not cool or funny, but I'm a cool and funny gal. Like, I think I'm really cool. So this is just really fun, and I'm very opinionated too. So this is a perfect space for me to do that as well. And I'm just, yeah, again, I'm excited. But yeah, I kind of want to start off by just talking about a quick quote, real quick, that I felt like kind of wraps all that up a little bit, talking about how I've had to grow to love my personality and myself and all of it combined. It's this poem. It's not a poem. It's a little transcript from um, a piece of poetry from The Freedom of Forward by Morgan Richard Oliver. And it goes, I wouldn't appreciate my joy, laughter, and life to the extent I know, do had I not wiped my own tears and picked myself off the ground and worked on myself from the inside out. And when I read that, I found it on TikTok, and when I read that, that's exactly who I am. I truly had to appreciate myself and truly had to be like, well, I'm a cool person. And I feel like people always talk about self confidence and self esteem, and I feel like I have a lot of self confidence. I don't think it's cockiness or I'm a narcissist, but I just know I'm confident in who I am. I'm confident in how I show up. And I think I spent a lot of times beating little Talia down. Sometimes I just want to hug my old self because I put her through a lot, you know? And like I was saying before, I was never the prettiest girl in a space. That was not my life, bro. Like, and I realized that. And to be that young and recognizing that is really sad if you think about it. Like, I just remember, and there's so many stories I want to tell on here about my experience with that, but I remember going up and just observing and realizing, oh, like I'm not that. Like, I'm not the pretty girl. That's not me. But like I said before, I realized what I had, and I realized what I was. And I grew that confidence, and that confidence from appreciating my own self, my own laughter, my own thoughts, the way I speak, the way I talk, how loud I am, appreciating all of that about myself helped me look in the mirror and love the girl that I see. All of that helped. It just started from, again, the inside out. I worked on who I was as a person. I realized that my personality is my strong suit, and being confident in that helped me look at myself and be like, whoa, like, hey, these boys might not think I'm pretty, but I think I am. I think I'm pretty and I have a good personality. And I think when you get to an age, I'm 23 years old, there's people who are older than me who don't appreciate themselves or love themselves the way I do. And that's sad, I feel like as women, especially, we live in a society where it's really hard. They make it so hard on us to love ourselves. And to say that I'm 23 years old, I think I officially started to love myself around 21 years old. And to say at 20 years old, I loved the person who I was, I'm not trying to brag or say that's, or talk about myself, but that is a big accomplishment. I worked on that. I beat myself up so hard in high school, all through my teenage years, and to finally be happy with who I am and not just my personality, which I thought was my strong suit, but how I look too. I'm best of both worlds, babe. Best of both worlds. And I love Talia. I love who I am. I love myself so much that I want to. I think that's nice, and I think people may hear that and it's like, okay, girl, like pipe down, but it's true. Like to have that self confidence, and I think to really, 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 truly, 100% be happy with myself and to love myself is rare, and I'm happy that I learned it then instead of now because society's harsh, bro. And they keep getting more harsh and more harsh and more cruel and more cruel. You need to have that tough skin and you need to know who you are. And I'm happy to say that I do and that I have a mom who, whoa, told me all the time how pretty I was or how good of a person I am or my dad even talking about my personality. Like the best compliment I can get that I got from my dad was him telling me like he likes how I carry myself. Like that is such a compliment and I'm happy with that. And hopefully me talking on here can help other people, other girls, other guys, whoever learn to love themselves as well. And it's not easy. It's very hard. I'm going to tell y'all so many stories on this journey that I'm going down about how many times of all the things that I went through, the depression, anxiety, all of that. And I'm excited to share that with y'all. But yeah, that's just a little bit about me. I don't know if y'all learned a lot. I feel like that's a good insight into kind of me, Talia, a little bit. There's so much more. But I think, the main thing is loving yourself and truly loving yourself. And I have got to that. And I'm going to continue that. And hopefully it will last forever. All right, enough about me. Let's talk about some nice hot topics. Okay, so basically, how I want to break down this podcast, if you guys are going to be on the road with me, is I always want to share a little bit of story, and then I want to go into pop culture and then reality TV recaps because your girl loves reality TV, which you guys are going to learn about me. But that's kind of the route that I'm going to kind of go on. So bear with me. I talk a lot. I repeat the same thing over and over again. I'm sorry. I'm just a girl. I can't help it. It's also hereditary. It's just in my genetics. My mom repeats herself 12 million times, so do I. Blame Mary, not me. Okay. Okay, so some big news that came out that I feel like for my generation, for my generation, for the millennials a little bit, we're going to appreciate this. There will be a Hannah Montana 20-year reunion coming up next month in March, y'all. That is so exciting. Let me just break it down to y'all because I feel like my generation knows what Hannah Montana meant to us. But I don't think I'll understand. I had a Hannah Montana birthday party. I think a lot of us girlies that were born in the early 2000s or even late 90s had Hannah Montana birthday parties, but it's so funny because me and my mom were just talking about that not too long ago. How I had my Hannah Montana birthday party, and I remember what the cake looks like, y'all. I had a little guitar on there. I had a Hannah Montana guitar too. Hannah Montana was my girl. I loved Miley Cyrus. So the fact that it's been 20 years is actually insane. I'm 23 years old, and I remember watching every single episode, and I'm telling y'all now, if Miley, I don't know how they're gonna do this Hannah Montana reunion, but I want the wig. Give me the wig. Give me the old outfit. I want her to perform every single song in that discography. Give it to me. Make me feel like I'm 8, 9, 10 years old again. Please. That is what I want. And if you're not going to deliver it, then they might as well keep it. Like, I want to feel like I've been transported back into the early 2000s watching Disney Channel. Like, they really, really better give us more. And I heard that it was going to be hosted by Alex Cooper, and a lot of people had mixed emotions about it. I just don't want it to be a sit down interview. I don't want that. We don't want that. You don't want that. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. I want to see performances. Give me lights. Give me camera. Give me action. I want it all. You know what I mean? Like, it's been 20 years. 20 years. Everybody still remembers Hannah Montana. Everybody still remembers all of her songs. Her songs still go viral on TikTok sometimes. Like, that's what we want. And obviously, we love Miley. She's been through a journey but I want Hannah. Give me Hannah. That's what I want. And I hope the whole cast is there. I just hope it's a real big celebration because it's definitely a focal memory of my in my brain of my childhood that I absolutely loved and adored. And I can't wait for that, honestly. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be interesting, y'all. Like, I just see, which is crazy because it took Miley a while to be like okay with it. You know what I mean? Like, oh girl really tried to walk away from him. She really tried to transform herself to a whole different girl. She went from Wrecking Ball Miley, We Can't Stop Miley. Like, she was going crazy. We Can't Be Tamed Miley. She was going insane. She really wanted to wipe that Disney image off of her. But I love when people realize, like, that's where they came from. And even though we loved Miley, we fell in love with Hannah first. Sorry. I fell in love with Hannah before Miley. And then through Hannah, I fell in love with Miley. And I feel like 20 years from now. And I also know like there's a lot of trauma that probably goes with that, which I'm very sympathetic about. And I feel like everybody needs time to talk about that and to deal with that. And I feel like she's finally in a place where she's like, you know what, that was something really cool that I did. That was really sick, honestly. Like, yeah, I want to talk about it. I want to appreciate it. I want to bring that back for people because nowadays, especially the way times are going, we are in love with nostalgia. We love feeling like what we used to before, that kid feeling. That we miss that. We love that, and I can't wait to see what they're going to show us. I pray that it's not just an interview. If it's like just a podcast, y'all, I'm gonna really have a problem. You know what they also should do? They should put like the outfits on auction. Montana outfit. I y'all would too. Give me the guitar. Give me something. I'll buy a wig. Do it. Like, I just want it to be like worthwhile. I just want to feel like, yes, this is what we've been waiting for 20 years. Like, I want to feel eight again. I want to feel like a child again. I want to feel like a kid. Like, give me that. I want to know how, like, what it means to them. Like, give me depth. Give me raw, real emotions. That's what I want. But she better perform. She better perform. No ands, ifs about it. Girly Pop better get on that stage, put that blonde wig on, and give me something. Give me something. Somebody just said Hannah. That's what I want. That's what I want. Like, give it to me. But I think it's going to be good, and I'm excited about it. And I think even if you weren't a Hannah Montana fan, you're going to watch it. Like, I just think everybody's going to tune in. I know the guys are going to tune in. The guys are going to sit there and act like they're not going to tune in. They're tuning in. They're watching that. Like, that's going to happen. Anyways, moving on. All right, guys. Like I said a little bit earlier, I am a reality TV whore. I'm a slut for some reality TV. I love it so much, and I want to kind of go and do a little recap of all the reality shows that I watch. So, I I'm gonna recap the shows that I watch. I watch a lot, okay? But I'm gonna hit the big points right now, the ones that are popping right now. I will watch everything from Housewives to Love Is Blind to The Ultimatum to Love Island, y'all. When it's Love Island season, I'm really about to get in depth. Like, I love Love Island, but we're going to start off with, of course, the OG reality TV show, I feel like, The Real Housewives. And currently I'm watching The Real Housewives of Potomac, and I kind of want to go down and do a little recap of what happened with the part one reunion that just happened. And if you aren't watching reality TV, Girly Pop, still listen. The drama is insane. Trust me, it's worth it. And tune in. Tune in. Just turn it on. You'll be hooked. I'm telling you. Okay, let's talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. So, first of all, let's talk about the elephant in the room of that reunion. Wendy. Wendy, Dr. Wendy, child. Let's just. Ooh, y'all. I just want to know what was Wendy thinking? What was Wendy and Eddie thinking? I think them getting arrested shocked me out of everything that happened that season. And I think the next person that I saw getting arrested, because Karen was already arrested, but the next person that if I bet to see who would get arrested, it would be Dr. Wendy, babe. 3 degrees, 4 degrees, how many degrees she got? Like, come on now. And like, but I did feel some kind of way when she was telling that story about her son, when she was like, the night after we got arrested, and I picked up our son from school, and he was in the back seat, and we were trying to act like nothing happened, but he had saw their mugshots, had saw the news and the blogs, and how like she got in the back seat and hugged her son, and they were crying together. That that broke my heart because I don't have kids, but I know as a parent, you don't want to put your kids through that. You don't want to have to explain to your child that they went to jail. They were locked up. They spent the night in jail. Like, and I don't know how old when these kids are, but that's sad, and that's not, that's not okay. And I couldn't do it, child. Oof. Jesus knows I could not be in jail, but I do say, y'all are probably gonna laugh at me when I say this, but I do say that, like, I don't give jailbird. I don't give jailbird. Nobody can say Talia looks like she can be in jail. Absolutely not. But I think I could survive it. Y'all, I'm telling you, I think they would see me. And they would see me as a little girl and take me in. I swear, y'all, I have this vision that if I ever went down that route, pray to the Lord that it will never happen. But who knows, I might go crazy one day. But I feel like they'll look at me and be like, we have to protect her, and I think they'll watch over me, and I think they may take me in and like a little sister, But crazy to say, but I really think I do think so. But I die though. I would kick, scream, cry, like I could not go to jail. That is not for me, but I could survive it. Best believe I could survive it. Okay, on to my favorite cast member, Stacy. I love Stacy, and see how much like Giselle can't stand Stacy, Kay can't stand Stacy. Who else? Tia, love Stacy. Her QVC videos, amazing, absolutely amazing. I love her so much, and like her being the favorite cast member from this season, I know that just made them so mad. Stacy's funny, bro. Like, Stacy doesn't take life too seriously. And I feel like that's the thing. Like, Girly Pop has fun. Does she tell lies? Yeah. Yeah, she does. But the fact that Stacy will look at you and be like, I didn't say that. I do not remember saying that. When she does, she does. She's a liar, but she's funny. And that's why everybody loves her. Like, and also her lies aren't that deep. Like, they're not that serious. Why are we getting all upset about these small little lies that aren't that deep? And then, they kept talking about freaking TJ. Can we please leave TJ back in the last season? Like, did did Stacy probably pay TJ to be her fake boyfriend? Probably. But how many times do we have to keep talking about it? Like, if you believe it, great. If you don't believe it, great. Like, I don't think it's something that has to keep going on. And like the whole Stacy and Tia drama, like, I think Stacy and Tia actually could have been really good friends, but I think Tia is someone who just can't do lies. I can't do lies either. But I'm more like a Wendy with Stacy. Like, I would just let Stacy be Stacy, and I would just move on and not take it so seriously, and just, like, you gotta take Stacy about at where she is and love her about of how she is and keep it moving. Like, Stacy's not gonna change. So, I don't know what else happened that season. Angel, girl, this is Angel's last season. I don't know if they came out and officially said if Angel's going to be back for next season or not. I'm telling you now, she doesn't need to be. Angel is probably the worst housewives I've ever seen. I've seen so many of their different shows. Angel's the worst. Angel, first of all, Angel, okay, I'm also going to say in her defense, they were mean to her. They were. The catfish comment was rude and was nasty, and it was meant to be rude and nasty. And Ashley, which I can't stand, was sitting there and was like, babe, you need to learn how to take a joke. Okay, say it once, alright? But say it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It's not a joke anymore. It's not funny. I'm someone who jokes and laughs all the time. I love roasting my friends. But if you keep pushing me to the point where you want to push me, I'm going to have an issue. And I'm going to say something. And I feel like that's what happened with Angel. But off the bat, she was like doing a bit much. Like, all the heat that she had for Wendy, that she should have had for Giselle, because Giselle said the catfish comment was crazy. Like, it just felt like she wanted to hate Wendy. And Wendy said that. Wendy was like, you saw Giselle as like this mother figure. So anytime people would be like, "Hey, Giselle is saying this," it would go in one ear, not the other, and then you would believe that the things that Giselle was saying about you, that Wendy was saying about you, like it was very weird, and it just felt like Angel always had a problem. The trip that she did was a mess, and I just don't see her as housewife material. I think she needs to grow some thick skin, and I hate saying that, but the housewives, they're harsh, and Angel needs to either like get it together or get on out, and it's just getting hard and uncomfortable to watch, and I don't like it, and I'm kind of over her. Nothing else really happened in the first part of the reunion, so hopefully in the second part we'll talk more about Mindy's rest, and Karen's also gonna pop in, so I think it's gonna be more for us to talk about then. I really want to talk about one of my favorite shows that comes on like twice a year, and that is Love is Blind. Y'all, I love Love is Blind. I've watched Love is Blind since what, senior year of high school. The first season came out senior year of my high school, 2020, and it's spectacular. Spectacular. Every season is horrific. Every season is tragic, and it makes me so upset. But do I keep watching the next ones? Yes, I do. And this season, Ohio, we got some questions. I got some things to talk about. So let's first talk about our first couple. The first couple, I think this couple's also the best couple, Vic and Christine. Y'all, Vic and Christine, those the fact that they didn't get to go to the real honeymoon in Mexico. Also, I'm a little side eyeing the producers on that, but I want to talk about them more, and I feel like the reason why I like Vic and Christine is I can actually feel like that they love each other and that they're gonna get married. Also, I love the real, raw, true conversations that they were having. You know, Vic and Christine are an interracial couple. Vic is black and Christine is white. And I love real conversations. Christine literally was like, Vic was asking her, like, how do you feel about having mixed race kids? Like how do you want to approach that? How do you feel like you're gonna approach that? Do you feel like you can I don't know, not handle it, but is that something that you think you're ready for to tackle? Because that is gonna be, something different. You know, especially if if her kids come out, looking more black, just like some mixed kids kind of just lean towards one way. How does she feel about that? And Christine was being very honest, and she was like, I feel like I'm strong enough for that, and I feel like I'm gonna protect my kids at all costs. But something that she said that was very truthful and honest. She said, the only thing I worry about is that it's going to be something that I can't fully 100% relate to my children about. And I was like, wow, that's a really mature thing to say. Like, which is true though. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be things that her kids are probably going to go through that only Vic can relate to because only Vic has been put in those situations. As being a black man, he understands certain things. Christine, she's never been in situations like that. And I thought, even though that's a worry for her, I look at her and I say, I think she'll be all right. I think she'll be able to probably not 100% relate and be like, I've been in a situation like that before, but I know she's going to be there to protect her child. And I appreciate that conversation because I feel like a lot of people don't realize those are the conversations you're going to have, especially when you are in an interracial relationship. And especially when you want to spend the rest of your life with that person, have kids with that person, these are real conversations. And I don't remember another conversation that was had like that on Love is Blind. I think back in season one with Lauren and Cameron, I think they obviously touched on it, but we haven't had that since. And to have Christine and Vic have that conversation, and it just felt honest and real. And I loved it. I love real deep conversations. I hate like silly crap. Like I really don't care. Let's talk about something real. You're getting married. And if you're getting married to someone, this is something that might worry you, or you might want to know like how to address it. But I feel like when it gets time to it, Christine will be okay and Vic will lead her down whatever path that they need to get on. And I love that conversation. I hope they get married. I hope they're still married, and they're my favorite couple thus far. Now let's go on to Devontae and Brittany because y'all, I I am very shocked about Devontae and Brittany. How that conversation with Brittany's parents went, I was like, this is a little too good. Because the whole thing with Devontae is that he doesn't find Brittany attractive. That's the whole thing. And from the history of watching Love is Blind, when you're not physically attracted to your partner, it never works. It never works. It never will work. And also, Devontae, I have some issues with him because Devontae says, I've never dated a woman of color before, right? He's never dated a woman of color. That's not usually his type. But Devontae is very clearly a man of color. That took me. I definitely squinted with that a little bit, and I feel like right now they're having a good time. It seems like they're okay, which is surprising. But I feel like if you're not physically attracted to your partner, it's not gonna work. The show has showed us you cannot force the attraction, and it's like I wish and I hope the best for them. I just don't know where it's gonna go, and I think Devontae needs some real self reflection, self esteem. He really needs to work on himself and start loving himself because I think for a man of color to say I don't like the woman I chose because, or I don't like her physically because I've never dated a woman of color. I'm usually not attracted to a woman of color. Babe, you're a man of color. Like, you're, he's obviously mixed, but you're black, babe. It's very obvious. And and Brittany's gorgeous. And I was just like, I think there's some I don't want to say self hate, but I think there's some self reflection that we can do there. And I don't know just with that comment, I was like, yeah, he's not ready for marriage. So, but it seems like their family conversation was nice, and it seems like they're going down the right path. Are they getting married? Absolutely not. I'm saying it now. I'll put money on it. I'll go to the casino right now and bet on it. They're not getting married. Like that's just not happening. Um. All right, let's talk about Alex and Ashley, y'all. Alex is a scammer. I'm saying it now. Alex is a scammer. That man, what does he do? Bro, Ashley's dad was sitting there grilling Alex. It was like a ping pong match. It was going back and back, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Alex has been, let's just write down. What is he? He does trading. What does he do? Trading? Stock trading? Something trading, right? He trades. He is a soccer coach. You're telling me to do all these things and move around from country to country to country to country. Y'all, I think he's running from the feds. That is what I have determined with my investigation. He's running from the feds. He's running from the feds. He's running from the feds. He's running from somebody. Because what do you mean? You've lived in so many of these countries. You're there for a month, going insider trading. That's what he does. Insider trading. Y'all, he's running from the feds. He's running from the IRS. He is on the run. I don't know why he went on this TV show. None of this is making sense. He said, "I live a nomadic lifestyle." Sir, you're in your 30s. Let's settle down. You keep bringing up the soccer career from 20 years ago that is not going to be recovered. I'm sorry to say. We've all had to let sports go that we've loved. We have to let it go. He's still stuck on it. You're 34. How old is he? I don't know. He's in his 30s. Let's please move on. And the whole conversation with Ashley and Alex about like about her period or y'all, that was crazy. Talking about I can have your tracker. Excuse me? Y'all, that was very uncomfortable. I did not like that. I kept pausing it and texting my friend like, girl, this is so uncomfortable. Like, what is he talking about? Like, and the way Ashley was looking at him was like, are you okay? And in that moment, it just felt like he was trying to find an issue. Like, y'all go watch it. Like, it was insane. That was crazy. And I loved not Christine, sorry, Ashley's dad was looking at him like, the way he was grilling him, I don't think he thinks Alex is the one. He said, I worked with I've had divorced clients. I work with people who are getting divorced. Like, oh yeah, dude, like, he saw right through Alex. Alex had an answer for everything. And to me, when you have an answer for everything like that, you're not telling the truth. Something is going on, something suspicious is happening. And I think Ashley's family saw right through that, and I think it's about time, or time is coming where Ashley's about to see right through Alex, and I don't think it's gonna end very well. And he's a scammer. He's a scammer. I'm calling it. Like I don't even care if that sounds funny or crazy. He's a scammer. Like something's not adding up. Like it's just really really weird to me. And Allie was pressuring her to basically like to find a job in Arizona or in Florida. Like she loves her job where she's at. But I live a nomadic lifestyle. You knew that I lived like this, but whoa, there's two people in a marriage, right? Not just about you and what you need, especially if I'm making more money. Just saying, if I'm making more money, why am I leaving my job? And your jobs are always in and out, in and out. Very weird, very suspicious. Watch, mark my words, the man's a scammer. I want to talk about Amber and Jordan. Okay, Amber and Jordan are really cute. They feel like that they're gonna work to me. They're just a little boring to me. They're very boring. And I don't see a spark when I see them. I see that they love each other. I can tell that. I can tell that they love each other. I can tell that they appreciate each other. They have this respect for each other. Do I think they give married couple that are in deep love and there's just all this passion? Absolutely not. I don't see that between them. They might get married, they might not. I really don't know. I think that I just find them boring, honestly, and I see no spark at all. And I think Jordan is gonna have a little bit of issues with the kid. Like, I think he'll be a great dad. He gives dad vibes all day, every day. I just, going into a relationship with someone else who has a kid is always hard. And it's always a task that you cannot take lightly. And I feel like a lot of people always say, like, I can do that. But it's like, hold on. Do you, though? Like, let's not just say you can do that because you want to be with me. Like, actually really think, is this something that I'm ready for? It's different from having your own children than to parenting somebody else's kids. So I don't know how they're going to do with that. I think he still hasn't met her daughter, but I do think they love each other. I don't see the spark. I think it's 50-50 with them. I really don't know how they're going to go. Connor and Bree. Breezy, whatever she calls herself. I thought their connection with Connor's family was really nice to see, and it felt like Connor's family was very happy for him. It was like, well, you found the one, like, and I could see that. I could so see that their families will get along. I think Bree is someone to watch out for. I think with that last conversation, which we're talking about next, because that was insane. I think Bree might not be 100% genuine, or she's doing something that's making herself feel that way. Like, Connor just gives that he will do anything for his partner, and I don't know if Bree's the same. You know? Also, I think Connor's very submissive, and Bree is very dominant. And for personal taste, for my personal, I don't want to be the dominant one in a relationship. I don't want to be the one making the moves. Driving the boat is what I call it. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to be the one on the back of the boat, chilling, hanging out, sunbathing. And it gives Breeze driving the boat and Connor's in the back south sunbathing. I don't think it's going to work. I think they need to have a better dynamic. Like, I think for it to work, the dynamic needs to switch. Connor needs to be more dominant in that. Um, not I don't know. I think Bree's behavior is becoming weird. And I think Connor really likes her, loves her actually, and I think it's 50-50 for them to see who's gonna get married and then who's not. But let's finally get to the meat and potatoes of this episode. We're talking about Chris and Jessica. I have a lot to say about this. I have a lot to say about this. So Chris pulls Jessica basically, and it's just like, I'm just not physically attracted to your body. And it's just trashing, ripping on this girl's body. Like, telling her, like, I'm into women who do Pilates and women that work out. Okay, if that's your preference and that's your taste, that's fine. Nothing's wrong with that. But go back a couple episodes. Jessica literally in the pods told him, I'm not a girl that works out. Like, that's not my testimony. That's not my vibe. And he was like, that's fine. Like, that's totally fine. Also, let's also make clear, Jessica is a beautiful woman. Beautiful woman. I don't know what kind of body type he's looking for, but Jessica's gorgeous. And I was like, for him to sit her down and basically was like, the physical vibe isn't there at all. It's never been when you've slept with her how many times and you're just now telling her this, that he wasn't enjoying any of it. None of it was good. And I don't like your body, basically. I'm not attracted to you. And Jessica, girl, claps for you. Because she sat there and took all of that in. She sat there, heard it, didn't respond crazy. Me, y'all, I would have been popping my mouth here and there. I would have been going off. Like, what are you talking about? She took it in, shed some tears, and was like, I can't be here right now. I have to go. She handled that such like an adult. Like I said, I call myself a 23-year-old teenager. I'm obviously not mature enough because I would have went off on him. I would have went off on him. And to make the matters worse, guys, to make it worse, they had the social, the group social where all the couples come together and they all have a big hangout and they're all hanging out together. Chris walks in, all confident and cocky, talking about, oh, it was like how it wasn't a loss losing Jessica. I don't care if it was rude. That's how I felt. Like bashing her in front of everybody, bashing her in front of the girls. I think Ashley, Bree, and Priyanka were standing in front of him, hearing him bash Jessica to them, just letting this man talk bad about Jessica. Isn't Jessica y'all's friend? Like I would never let my friend's ex look at me in my face and trash my friend. Like that was completely unacceptable. That is I hate the word girls girl, but they were not girls girls. Like that would make me mad if I was Jessica watching that back. Like why did y'all let this man trash me and just dog me in front of y'all? Y'all aren't telling him, well, you need to watch yourself. Like they're just letting him do that. That was crazy. Bree entertaining his conversations. Ashley and Bree walk away. Ashley, Chris obviously starts flirting with Bree because Bree was his second option, remember, in the pods. And is basically flirting with her, telling her that you don't need anybody, you need me. Like Connor's not gonna do it for you, it's gonna be me. And she's sitting here listening to this man basically trash her fiance. Are you okay? Like, why aren't you sticking up for not only your friend but for your relationship? This is your fiance, and you're letting another man talk bad about your man, your guy, your fiance. That blew me. That blew me. And she was on TikTok, like trying to like defend herself. But babe, that didn't look good. I give everybody grace. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but that didn't look good. It looked really shady to me. And I don't think when Connor watches that he's gonna be okay with that and he's gonna be acceptable. He's gonna accept that. Like that was crazy to me how she was just like listening to this man say that he's better for her and that Connor is this, that, and the other, and she's just okay with it. Like that was psycho. That was psycho. And it looked like Ohio, like this season of Love is Blind Ohio was going down like an easy breezy route. Y'all, it's gone to hell. It's horrible. Like, these men are insane. I'm like, these men, like, and men that, oh, this is gonna be a little mean. But for men who, okay, Connor is, the fact that Connor has that much confidence to like trash somebody or to tell or another woman that like you don't have the body that I want. I think it's men have the gall to look at women in the face and to tell us you don't look the way I want my woman to look. I like a woman that works out. I like a woman to do this, and then they don't work out. So you want a fit woman, but you're not fit? That's crazy to me. Chris works out, but it's like you're telling a woman that's drop dead gorgeous, that's beautiful. She's beautiful. You're telling her, I don't want you because your body looks like this. Babe, in the nicest way possible, you're not the prettiest ducky in the pond either. So who are you to tell her that? Like men, it's crazy. The whole situation was crazy to me, and I don't see. Like I don't know where he was coming from with that, and it made me so upset. And I was done, absolutely done after that ended, and I couldn't watch anymore, and I was done with it. Like Chris is a piece of work. And that was so disrespectful. And I know Jessica, when she watched that back, like, that's heartbreaking to have a man that you not only spent intimate time with, but you spend so much time with, you lived with, to talk about you like this, in this way, is gross. And he should be ashamed of himself. And he's gonna come to the reunion with his tail in between his legs, all sorry. You're not sorry, because he kept saying over and over again, he kept repeating, like, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. So I don't want to see you with your tail between your legs at the reunion. Like, I want you to be just as loud as you were on camera behind her back. Do it in front of her, because that's horrible. Like, to say that about someone is crazy. Like, to think it is one thing, but to say it to not only her but to other people and her friends is weird, and weird behavior. And I was so mad for Jessica. I was so mad. All right, moving on. Moving on from Love is Blind, we're going back to the Bravo universe, and we're talking about Summer House. I love Summer House. It's one of my favorite uh reality TV shows of all time. I've watched all of Summer House. I watched all of Winter House, and I'm so excited to be covering this season again because I love it. It's one of my favorite shows. So it started back off with Kyle storming off from the dinner table. Now we all know, especially if you watch Summer House, this is a pattern. Kyle has stomped off at so many dinners, and it's because he thinks he's right. But the thing is with Kyle is that the way, and I think the problem everybody has with him is the way he talks about his wife is completely unacceptable. I don't know how Amanda has has kept up with this for so many years. The way he talks about her is horrendous. The way he talks about her to other people is also horrendous. Like, Amanda was basically just saying, where's my apology? You're making an apology to the whole table when it's really about me. So you should give me my own private apology. And he had it. He couldn't do that. He couldn't just say, Amanda, I'm sorry for talking crap about you. You're my wife and I love you so much, and I'm talking crap to you to our friends behind your back. Like, instead of just saying that, he got upset because that's what Kyle does. Like, this is just Kyle's MO at this point. He always does that. He never just tells what he needs to say. And, like, even Wes said it. Like, Wes was like, she doesn't need a grand gesture. She doesn't need you to pull everybody from the city and do an apology on a Megatron. She just wants you to sit her down and to tell her that you're sorry for what you were saying about her. It doesn't need to be this big thing. Like, and he does it every season. Especially when they go to the beach. He pulls her and tries to, apologize to her again. And he's basically saying, you're lazy, you're this, you don't try. And it's like, Kyle, how not hear your wife? Your wife is telling you, when you drink, I don't like you when you drink. Amanda has been saying this for seasons upon seasons upon seasons. And he is still like, well, you know what? That's not the issue. The issue is you. The issue is you. You're a 40-something-year-old man and you still want to party in the club. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, she told you, I don't like how late you stay out, I don't like how much you drink, and I don't like how much you party. So then he then turns around and gets a job as a DJ where he's out late, he drinks, and he parties. You are completely doing the thing that she is saying she does not like when you do, and he gets a job and a career in it. And you think that that's not the reason that your marriage is going down the drain? Like, that's crazy to me. The way he talks to Amanda, you call me out my name. I've always said, ain't no boyfriend, ain't no man will call me out of my name. That is like the top of the totem pole for disrespect to me. Like, do not disrespect me, especially not in front of other people. Like, he calls her every name in the book and degrades her, and she's just telling him why our marriage is not in good spirits is because of this, and it's been like this for years, and you don't change it. And I think Amanda was a woman who was just literally pleading, like, please, like, she didn't know what else to do. She's also a woman that's given up. Amanda has given up. It didn't give that, like, and especially watching the season, especially knowing now that we all know that they are now separated, it is very obvious to see that Amanda has given up in this season and that she's done repeating herself and she can't go on any longer. And that's really sad to watch and sad to see. But I think at the end of the day, as an audience, we all knew that Amanda, this sucks to say, but could do better. And Kyle didn't want to do better for her. He didn't. He always says that my biggest fear is to not have kids before my parents pass. But he's in his late 40s, still has no kids, because he's partying every single night. That's what he wants to do. So it's just hypocritical to me, and I feel bad for Amanda because she also said, like, public opinion. The public have been telling me for years to leave Kyle, and now I'm actually thinking I should leave Kyle. And I think when a lot of people say it, like, not even just in your relationship, is your husband not trying? But when outside factors are telling you this all the time, you start to believe it. And that's what ends up happening. And it sucks, and I feel so bad for them, but I just don't see it ending well, like, at all. Um, Wes and Sierra, they're in game. They're getting back together. I love that for them. They had a little bit of flirting, and last season with Sierra literally ignoring him and not acknowledging his presence. I think it's nice to see their friendship of how it was 2 seasons ago, and I think they're gonna get back together. Mark my words. Some people aren't. Some people, like 1% of the population, don't like that, but I think Sierra wants someone. Sierra wants to settle down. West still wants to have fun, which is fine. But I think West is gonna realize that like Sierra's the one that got away, and they're gonna come back together. It's gonna be beautiful. I also want to say I love all the new cast members: KJ, Bailey, Levi, Mia. I love all of them. They're a breath of fresh air. I think they all kind of go into the house and as a collective, and they all get along, and it all seems right. With Paige leaving, it was scary going into the season because it felt like it wouldn't be the same. But it feels right. Like I like where it is, and I'm happy with it. I'm so happy with it, and I think the season's gonna be good. And I kind of sad because I feel like we're gonna see more of Kyle and Amanda's relationship go down the drain. But I think the season's gonna be good, though. Obviously, that sucks, but again, I feel like that's on Kyle. You know what I mean? Like, he should have worked towards it, and I don't know if it's gonna get better. The last and final show that I'm gonna recap for you guys is Traitors! This is one of my favorite shows ever. I would be on Traitors. I would win Traitors if I was on it. I absolutely love it. Let's just talk about, how let this man Rob slide. Y'all, Rob is a sneaky snake. But he's playing an amazing game. Like, I give props where props are due. Rob is playing an amazing game. I didn't like how he threw the other traitors under the bus. Like, I just thought they worked so well together, and I hated to see that happen. But he's playing an amazing game, which is also making me realize, like, how are none of the faithfuls realizing that it's Rob? Like, y'all have to open your eyes. And even I don't know if it was last night's episode, but a couple episodes ago, they're sitting there and they're like, it could never be Rob. Like, it just couldn't be Rob. But it's Rob, and he's killing y'all, and y'all are stupid and trusting him so hard. Like Tara finally, I think her eyes awoke that episode, right? Which we thought it did. But she starts off the episode and she's like, y'all, I think it might be Rob. Like, what if it's Rob? Like, he's right under our noses. He's great at challenges. We all love him. But it could be him. To the point where she gets people to kind of get onto that. She gets Natalie to get onto that. She tries to get Johnny. And Mark, even. They're putting out his name. And Natalie is like, you know what? I think you might be right, like, because Natalie knows that her time is coming to an end. Like, she might get murdered at this point. So they have a plan of going into the round table and saying Rob's name, and hopefully getting Rob out. And they're bringing it to Mora. And they're like, Mora, like, think about this. And Mora keeps going, why am I here? Like, why haven't I died yet? Like, I don't know why I'm still here. Girl, you're still here because you're besties with Rob and you're an ally for Rob and you trust him so much. Why would Rob get rid of you? But that's not clicking to her. And she thinks it's suspicious that Natalie's trying to put it on Rob, but it's Rob. Like, I don't get it. People are putting all their trust in him. Like, it's really blowing my mind, and it's insane. And the round table made me so mad because Natalie's following the plan to try to get Rob out, and Tara just flips the script and gets nervous or whatever and doesn't pull that card. And Rob, it looked like it was going one way that it could be Rob, but then it ended with Natalie getting banished or getting killed. Yeah, she got banished. Like, I think I don't know how these people, and I'm just speaking of the fact of, and I know I'm a viewer, right? We're watching and we're seeing who the traitors are, and we're like, I can't believe they're not figuring out who they are. I really believe that if I was in that house, I would say Rob. Like, nobody is that good. And yes, he's good looking. We know he's gorgeous to look at. But you have to start suspecting again why you're there, why you've made it so long, why haven't you died? And these are the worst faithfuls of the season. They make me so upset. But at the end of the day, I'm at the point where Rob deserves to win. Like, the way Rob's been playing, the way he can get people to trust him like that, he deserves to go home with the win. He deserves to go home with that money. I think Eric is about to die. I think they're gonna kill Eric, or Eric probably can't win, or probably won't win because he's too quiet and they don't trust him. But I think Rob is probably gonna go all the way with this, and I think he won. I think I'll put money on that Rob is winning this season. Now, the episode ends with, someone also getting killed and getting banished. And who do we have left? Mark, Mara, Eric, who's a traitor, Rob, who's a traitor, Tara, and Johnny. I think they might take out either Tara or Johnny just because they're such good friends. They're so close. They'll vote together every time. And I think they see them as a threat because Tara is really the one who kind of put Rob's name out there. So I don't know how this is. Next week, next Thursday, is the last episode, the season finale. And I really think that Eric and Rob is going to take this home. And if Eric doesn't take it home, and if Eric's not with it, I think Rob is going to take it home. Robert, you sneaky snake, but you're playing an amazing game and it's so fun to watch, especially as a viewer. At first I was annoyed with Rob with what he did with Candace and Lisa, but I gotta respect his game. Like, he's really doing the dang thing, and I just think it's gonna end up with him winning. And I just can't wait to the reunion because I heard that the reunion is insane and how much things get crazy. Things get crazy between Lisa and Colton, and things get crazy between Rob and Candace. And I just love drama. I can't help it. I do. I do love drama. That's why I watch Housewives. Hello. Like, I just love it. It makes me so happy. Like, there's just something about reality TV that really brings me joy. It's also like I get to escape and get into other people's worlds. Like, it's just so much fun, and it's real, it's raw, it's real. Like, and of course things can be manipulated by producers, but it's the closest thing we can get to real life. It's reality. Like, I love it. I'm obsessed with it, and maybe one day your girl will be on there. Like, I'm not that. Okay, I can be dramatic. I don't have a lot of dirt. Like, these people on reality TV have dirt, bro. Like, they're all doing crazy things. I would just be there for the gossip. Like, I want to know the tea. Tell me the tea, please, please. I love tea. But yeah. But yeah, y'all, I think that is my reality recap. That is also the end of my first ever episode. I don't know how I did. I kind of got a little comfortable towards the end, but it was so nerve wracking, but also so much fun. 'Cause this is what I do all the time. I mean, I talk all the time, and I don't want to bore y'all. I could go on for 3 more hours. I'm not even kidding, but this has been so much fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of the Licensed Yapper podcast. I hope you guys are going to come back, and I hope you guys learned a little bit about me and also how I am. And I don't know, I hope you guys watch this and feel like, yeah, this is the place that feels right and where I want to be. And I have so many stories that I have to tell and that I can't wait to tell and share, and so many thoughts. I'm so opinionated and I have so many thoughts and opinions that I want to share as well. And I just hope that you guys enjoyed this. This was so much fun, and I can't wait to do it again. And I hope you guys really, really, really enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of the Licensed Yapper podcast. Bye, guys.